Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is your host Nick, VA3FSC. On this video, I'm going to show you a ham radio that is not for everyone. This radio requires manual labor. There is no scanning the band, looking at a spectrum analyzer. There is no dialing in the band. Everything is manual. There is no built-in antenna tuner. And definitely this radio is not a plug and play radio. You have to study and learn how to use this kind of radio. The worst part is that there's not many people left to fix radio like these. And if you find one, shipping is going to kill you because this radio is heavy and you really need to protect it when you put it in the box. But yet, some people love this radio. They collect them like crazy and they fell in love with the audio, the quality of the audio that comes out of a radio like this. I sometimes make fun when I make a contact and the other person asks me, what kind of radio are you using? Well, I tell them the model and they're like, oh, is that the one with the external display? And I'm like, yeah, that's the one. You found it. Let's take a look. And this is the radio, the Yaesu FT-101. This one is the EX, which is a newer model. It came out with the option to use a sound processor, which is not on the radio, and good luck finding one. It's super hard to find one. I'm using this radio with an original Johnson Messenger microphone, and believe me, this radio sounds amazing. Now, I'm not gonna go through the history of this radio. It's 30 years old, probably a little bit older. First one was the FT-101 with no letter behind it, and then the B, the D, the E, and lately the ZD, which came with the frequency display, because these ones don't have one and you require to have an external one. I mentioned I have two. Let me show you the second one. And this is the second one. This is the FT-101. As you can see here, it's the original 101, the very first model, and this is the 11 meters. So for those of you who don't know, the CB band, the 11-meter band, was on the radio, like the very first radios that came in, and then it was given to the CBers and to the citizen. They make it a citizens band and they give it out to the public. So this radio, you probably noticed the top here, the cover is missing. This radio has a hood. You can open up the hood. I'll show you after. So this radio, as you can see, everything is manual. You need to crank everything, right? And it's definitely not a plug and play radio. When you get your hands into a radio like this, if you are lucky and the radio is working, you can download the manual online, and there is a website called fouskosto.com or .org. I'll put the link in the description below if you need information about the tubes and whatnot. So when you get this radio, as I mentioned, you need to study. First you select your band, then you select the receive, the pre-select, and then the plate. The plate is to adjust your transmit. There is a little indicator here. I'll zoom into this radio. I have this connected into an antenna and we can go through. And then you can adjust the coil, the current that goes into the coil. And then of course your carrier, your mic gain, and all that stuff. Let's take a closer look. You hear that? The fan is now on, the radio is on. Before I get into any details, when you find a radio like this, again, as I mentioned, there is not many people left to fix such a radio. The other one that you saw on the right side, when I got this radio, it was completely deaf, like completely deaf. And I went through all these things I'll explain everything, all these things to get it going. So now the radio is on, okay? This is our volume here, okay? And our RF gain on the side. So this radio, it has a tone, a 25 kilohertz tone and a 100 kilohertz tone. So what this does is you tune in here until you hear the okay, and this helps you to adjust the radio when you're doing modifications. This radio is like or when you're tuning the radio or aligning the radio. Let's see the 100 kilohertz tone. Let's see where it is. It should be here somewhere. See, everything is manual. There it is. So if you read the manual, it will tell you how to adjust anything, and every time you change tubes, you need to neutralize them. It's a lot of work. That's why I said this radio is not for everyone. So this is just the startup of the radio, right? So now we're gonna turn off the tone, and we are on lower side band. This is our band selector, upper side band. This is how we tune the radio, and of course CW and AM. Okay, so now we need to select a band and see where are we gonna transmit. So for example, we are on 10D. On the 10 meters, this comes into four different, it splits the 10 meter band in four: 10A, 10B, 10C, and 10D. As you can see here, there is no 11 meters. Actually, there is one here on the auxiliary. That's why they left it on the auxiliary. Okay, so now we are on, let's go on 10 meters. So see how these are red and the rest of the 10 meters is white. So when you're looking at the red here, which is the 10D, you're looking at the red numbers here on this measurement here. So now we know that we are at 28 megahertz. The third digit is here, 700, 800. You can see as we spin. And then if we're gonna go to 28, 740, this is our 40. So this is our band. Let's go, for example, on see, this is a little bit tight here. Let's go on 20 meters. So on 20 meters, we're looking at the wide scale. So 20 meters, we have 14 megahertz. And then we are up here, if you can see. Let me zoom a little bit closer. So now we're looking at the wide scale here. So now we're at 14 megahertz, 20 meters. And we are at 230. So 230, this is our last digit. This is the fine tuning here. And of course, we need to be on the upper side. Can we receive? First things first, we need to adjust the receive, and everything is manual. So we're gonna go with the pre-select, and you see the indicator here that it's between 10 and 15 meters. We're gonna bring that up to 20, and you will notice the volume going up. And we keep this where it stays higher. So now we can receive. We can actually receive. So I don't know if there is any conditions. I am connected to an antenna. Let's see if we can go up and down. Because again, we cannot scan the band. We have to go manual. Okay, maybe 20 meters is not active at this time. Let's do 40. So now we're gonna move this. You see the indicator here to come to 40, or where we hear the loudest. So somewhere there. So now 40 is again on the wide scale. So 7, 100, so 70, 100, and 30, and lower side. And in an old radio like this, you see how this spins on a different speed than the disc behind it? This disc is moving, so Oh man, this is not easy to be on frequency. So we are now at 7300. Okay, you see the 300 up here. All the way to 7400 and 7500. Now I moved to 80 meters. See how it is red? We're gonna go with the red scale here. So we're now 3 megahertz, 745. You need to calculate, you need to do the math. What I didn't do is move the pre-select to bring it close to 80, and you've noticed the sound goes up. Somewhere there. The more you move, the audio will go down, and you have to follow with this. So that's a lot of manual labor, and we haven't transmit yet. Wait. And of course, every time I make a video, there is nobody around. Let's go to 10 meters. I'll go to 10A, USB, bring that down to 10. See, when you pass it, you have to find the sweet spot. Right there is our receive. And we are on 28, 140. Let's go see if we can pick up some CW here. Okay, so you decided that you want to transmit. Okay, so we pick the band here, let's say 10A. We're gonna bring the receive first. Wherever the sweet spot is. This is the clarifier, and as you can see, the light is on, and this is how you turn off the clarifier. This clarifier works on AM as well. Amazing. So yeah, our VFO, this is the switch here that you can select an external VFO or an internal VFO, and up here it says channel 1 and channel 2. There used to be a frequency that you can put an exact crystal, and you can use it kind of like a private channel 1 and channel 2. And this is our indicator here for our meter. You can check ALC modulation, IC, and output power. So let's transmit. Can we transmit? Sure we can. So we go to band 10A, which is 28 and up, 200, 300, all the way to 28, 500. Okay, we go to upper side, and now we want to transmit. So first thing we need to transmit is to turn on the heater. So now what this is gonna do is gonna throw current and voltage on the tube, and you have to wait a few seconds for the tubes to warm up. And that is why I say this radio is not for everyone. So you have to wait. So once you are here, before we transmit, this is our mic gain, and this is our carrier, our output carrier. So the carrier, we're gonna put it at 2. There is a manual antenna tuner that I have back here that I want to bring closer for you to see. Let me show you. Okay, so once we turn on the heater, now we are ready to transmit. So on this tuner, as we see here, we are direct. That means the tuner is not active. We're gonna hit here where it says tuned, and now it becomes more complicated because not only you have to adjust the receive here, which we already did, but now you have to find the sweet spot here. I put the volume up. I think because my antenna is close to 28, this doesn't matter a lot, but Now to transmit, remember we are on 10 meters. So even though we fix our receive, sometimes we need to adjust this. But anyway, my antenna is good. So can we transmit? Of course. Let's see. To transmit, let me turn the camera around. We have to bring this to where it says tune. This is the tuning mode. And I don't know if you can see the needle here on the right from the meter. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, something like that. So, okay. This is our mic gain. We don't need it. We're gonna increase the carrier a little bit. So you see here that we are almost 10 watts. Okay, and now by holding the PTT, we're gonna adjust the plate, and you will see the needle going up or down. So the sweet spot, wherever it is right there. So we're transmitting with like 10-12 watts at this time. And now if I crank the carrier, crank it a little more, boom, it's like 60, 70. A little bit more, and that's full power. So now we're running into SWR. So we're gonna go down and play with the selector. Yeah, this is our sweet spot. Let me adjust here. Oops, the other way. So right now we're at 1.3, 1.5. I can probably adjust a little bit more. No, okay, that's it. Let's give it some more power. 3/4, 60 watts, full power. Why not? The tubes are good. 150. That's 150. Let me zoom in. That's 150. Test. Oh, we didn't do the mic gain. There you go, the mic gain. And another thing we didn't do is the loading coil here. So by transmitting, we go back to tune. Okay, and we transmit. And if you look at the output power, let me bring this thing back a little bit. The carrier with the current plate here, you can adjust from here too. So a little bit from the plate, from the current, a little bit here from the plate, and sometimes you can do it from here too. I will give you the extra output power. And this is what you have to do to transmit on this radio. So after we did all that, if you are tired with the video and you skipped it and you went somewhere else, I totally understand. This is not for everyone. After when you're done all your settings here and your tuning, you can go ahead and crank the mic gain, and you can start using the radio. And the clarifier, as I said, works everywhere. Let's see, I think I picked up somebody. I don't know if you can hear. So this is how the radio looks from the top. There is a hood, and you will see there is two holes here for two screws that you can open up with a coin, like a quarter maybe, half a turn, and the hood comes out. This is your transformer. These are some settings here that you can adjust. This is where the two tubes are. This radio has a driver tube, which is on this side, and two final tubes that you can see here. And you need to be extra super careful when you're opening the cover. Let's zoom in. Okay, so this is how the radio looks inside. Again, this is These are your two tubes, the finals. Um, the good thing about this radio is that every board comes out, so every board does a different job, and you can go in here and let's say you can change the capacitors and whatnot. Another thing that you need to see, you need to check when you open this radio and you open up the hood and you're interested to buy this radio. This is our driver tube here. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. Okay, so this is our driver tube, and on this side here, you see on the bottom there, this is where the crystals are. So what do you think? What do you think about this boat anchor and the other one over there? You think this radio is for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about a radio like this. Thanks for watching and for your support. I will see you on the next one. 73.